Hi, great guys. How you doing? Hope you're well. We're carrying on with Natural Supernatural. Another short one this week. Please, if you haven't already read it, can you read page 78, Stepping Out of the Boat, through to the end of page 80. And it's all about stepping out of the boat, which is interesting on a couple of levels. I'm going to talk about what Mike's put in here first, and then tell you some stuff that's been going on with me about stepping out of the boat. And Mike talks here about how Jesus made his disciples get into the boat. And these disciples were going out on Lake Galilee. This is a lake a load of them have been fishing on their whole lives. They know that lake well. Jesus is telling them to go out in it, and he's not just telling them, he makes them. He made them do it. They would have known it was unsafe. They would have been the best, the most knowledgeable people around there. They would have fished it. No doubt ancestors would have fished there as well. They knew what the lake was like. And Jesus made them do something that was uncomfortable and scary and dangerous. And sometimes he asks us to do uncomfortable, scary, dangerous things. And Mike mentions in here towards the bottom of page 80, sometimes we need to basically say to God and say, Lord, if it's you, tell me what to do. And Mike says that's something that we should do. And that made me think of Samuel. And if you remember the story of Samuel, Samuel's a young boy. He's looked after by Eli. And during the night, he hears God cry out to him. And he ends up going to Eli and waking Eli up, going, you called? And Eli's going, no, I didn't call, go back to bed. And then he hears God again speak to him. And in the end, Eli was like, yeah, you're not hearing me, you're hearing God. Okay, so next time it happens, say to God, yes, here I am, I'm a servant. What do you want me to do? I'm open to hear from you. And that's how we should be like. We should be open to hear from Jesus. And we hear about the disciples being told by Jesus to do daft things. Go into that village, there'll be a colt, there'll be basically a donkey, a horse that no one's ever ridden, bring it here. And if anyone asks anything, tell them you're getting it for us. Or go after these people and you'll see these people and just say to them, where's the place to stay? We're coming to stay at your house. Like complete strangers, complete bonkersness. And Mike gives you the examples of going into a car dealership and asking for a car. You wouldn't do that. I wouldn't expect them just to give it to you. But sometimes Jesus asks us to do crazy, silly things. And with the Life Project, it's been 10 years now of my heart. You guys know what that's all about. If you don't, check out lifedronfield.org. It's a project that I love, and I had the vision for it 10 years ago. And just over the past 3 or 4 months, we've had to make a firm decision on whether we move forward and buy the parish halls in Dronfield. And we made the decision that, yeah, we're going to. But it's scary. It's a lot of money it's going to cost us, but God has provided the money. People are giving us the money. But it's still a big step. And with COVID, it's an even bigger step. And some people have stepped away because of that, because they think it's too risky. And we know it's risky, but we've been crying out to God, going, God, what do you want us to do? And he's opened doors. And we needed £20,000. And we realised we needed £20,000. Within a week, someone had come forward with £16,000. And then they can gift aid, which is tax relief essentially from the government, another £4,000. And there's the 20 grand. And we've done this whole stepping out of the boat, and it's scary. But listening to God and going, God, what is it you want me to do? And how do we do that? We do that by reading our Bibles. We learn what he wants us to do by reading our Bibles. We do that by being intimate with him and having intimacy with him and hanging out with him and reading our Bibles and praying to him and listening on him, not just going, I've said it loads of times, you know this. Prayer is not one way. It is not just throwing our prayers up. It's about listening. And it's actually more about listening to God, because he speaks to our minds and he speaks to our hearts and he speaks to the situations we're in. Things happen that people go, wow, that's a coincidence. And it's like, that's not a coincidence. That's God. You guys know about Life. We needed an architect, Soul Survivor. I don't know how many, 7,000 people on that site, maybe 1,000 adults. I think I spoke to 3 other people who weren't the adults in our group, and one of them was Chris Barry, Design XY. If you're in Sheffield, plug for Design XY. If you need any architecture, contact Chris, amazing architect. But I bumped into him out of nowhere and got chatting. And he's an amazing architect who totally gets our project. and has come on board and has supported us. And people go, oh, it's a coincidence. That's not a coincidence. Us needing an architect for the project, and a week and a half later, an architect pops up in Soul Survivor, 100 miles away from where we live, who lives 5 miles away, who's able to come and support us exactly as we want. That's God, and it's not coincidence. But sometimes you have to step out of a boat and wait on God and go, we're stepping out of this boat and we'll see what happens. And we know that sometimes if we take our eyes off Jesus, we start to sink. If we keep our eyes on him, he will change the circumstances in our mind, in our heart, and in the situation we're in. So I just want to encourage you guys to get reading your Bibles, get reading them however you want to read them, get connecting with God. It's intimacy with the Lord. Spend as much time waiting on him as you do speaking with him. Have a good week. Let me know how that goes. And I'll see you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye.